I'm Minerva, and I am back with another episode of Tuesday Talks presented by Abir Pothi. And today we have Shikha Soni with us. Shikha is a visual artist. Hi, Shikha, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. How did your journey in, becoming artist started? Like, was there any, moment that influenced this whole journey, or was it like all pre-planned, or you always wanted to be an artist? What was it?
Yeah, I was always interested in art. I used to love drawing as a kid. So it was always my strength, for sure. And I always saw my mom painting. My mom is an amateur painter and she's very skillful and she produced beautiful paintings. Uh, so we would always, all three of us, we would grow up seeing her painting on big canvases. And incidentally, her work is also figurative. Like she painted portraits. So I guess that must have somewhere influenced me. But
Mm.
I was always I was always wanting to be an artist because I thought that that made me feel that was natural to me. It came very naturally to me.
Yeah, it was just in your genes, maybe. It came
Might be.
naturally.
Might be.
So, how's your studio thing going? What are you creating nowadays? What's happening at the studio? Give us a gist of it.
What's happening at the studio. So this year I decided to seriously take up studio practice, what they call studio practice. So I have a space in my basement and I decided to follow up, follow through with these series of portraits that I started last year. So it was a very dedicated studio time which I gave in the past couple of months. Um,
Mm.
and it's been very relaxed, the practice. And of course, I've been painting this series of portraits. Um, so these are charcoal portraits, and I sort of gave myself a goal that I want to get done with resolving the image through these portraits because they are all based on references of people that I know and I have clicked pictures of. So that
Mm.
was my goal. Uh, and it's also because I realized that I felt the need to be in a studio space, to be alone with myself, because that is something I was running away from for the longest time.
Yeah.
It was difficult for me to be alone with myself, which is why I was, for a lot of, general and personal reasons, I think it is easier to get lost among people and instead of facing yourself. So that is why I decided that let's spend dedicated time in the studio. So this will be a great way to just spend some alone time and reflect on all that I've been doing so far and all that I've done so far.
That's nice. I think as an artist, we all need some sort of solitude to, just reflect on the practice, on the thoughts, on our patterns. And I think it's very necessary. And I think a studio space dedicatedly to, oneself and one's practice is very necessary, especially when you want to, become a practicing artist. So, how do
Definitely.
you connect? So, how do you connect with different mediums? Like, which one do you find the most difficult, and which one do you find the most, we always have this favorite medium as an artist that we always run back to. So, what's that?
So my practice is very drawing intensive. I
Mm.
absolutely love to draw. And in terms of mediums, I think I'm comfortable with all the painterly mediums: oil, watercolor, ink, gouache, or so charcoal because it is great for drawing. So in terms of mediums, I'm comfortable with all of these. Of course, it took me time to get comfortable with oil because it is the medium that I've spent the least amount of time with. I started using oil um, more seriously once I entered masters. So in terms of what is more challenging and what is which medium is more difficult, I think oil is a medium which, because I have been using photographs so much, And because I've relied on photographs as references, my paint, the medium has been molded in a certain way. I feel that I've not explored oil enough the way I might have explored watercolor, where I have allowed little accidents to happen, where there is freedom and there is control. But I feel that I've not spent enough time with oil, and I realize that there's a lot of potential in oil. Because the reason I wanted to use oil in the first place is because I wanted to spend more time with one work, which was not possible. Uh, from my previous understanding of watercolor, because I was painting in a small scale. So I guess I was interested in the layering bit and in more solid quality of the paint, which is there is more opaqueness. So I was interested to spend time with the medium. So, but it is challenging. I don't think I've done justice. I think I've just began.
Because a lot of times what happens is we all are self-aware. I think as an artist, when it comes to my practice, even I know where I'm lacking or what place I am in. But to be honest about it with yourself and then speaking out, it takes guts.
Yeah, I think there is no choice apart from being honest as an artist for me.
Artist, oh yes. No, no. In general, I think it should be.
Yeah,
You should be honest with
definitely,
yourself at least.
definitely.
Hmm. So, all the portraits and of course whatever you draw it, you see people around you and you kind of put them into your art. But what kind of inspires you to get them in, get those people into your practice and art? I mean, what's your take? What inspires you?
One of the most important things which inspires me is like an insane amount of drive and need to know who I am, to know myself. I do a lot of self reflection and I spend a lot of time trying to uh, understand, trying to know myself better, trying to understand my position in this world, trying to get to know myself better, basically. Like who I am without the voices of my sisters, my family, my close friends, because I happen to be extremely close with the people in my life. I share very intimate relationships, and they are the most important thing for me, like something that I would love to nurture and care for. They're the most important thing for me. Love is that's the most important. My inspiration is to bring this experience that I'm experiencing with people, because it's at such an intimate scale, and it's I think there's a lot of beauty that I see in between the space of two people. But this is not just any person, which is why I can't paint. I've not really painted strangers. This is only people that I personally know. And I feel like this needs to be visible. Whatever I'm feeling, whatever I'm seeing in this person, uh, whatever peculiarities I see which makes this person so uniquely themselves, I feel this needs to be visible so that it sort of inspires me to also like be myself, to have the confidence to be mad about being so deeply curious about another person and about myself. So I like to accept myself and to accept the way I am. If I'm a bit mad, if I'm obsessive in a certain way, if I'm insanely curious. So the inspiration is to find that comfortable space with myself and to accept myself completely the way I am so that the magic can actually emerge and happen.
That's so wonderful. What do you expect from the viewer when they see your work?
I think I would like to answer this question just how I expect another person meeting me. So if somebody is meeting me as a person, then of course they will carry their, when it comes to, I'm not rigid about them interpreting the work in a certain way because I don't think it's practically possible. Everybody will carry their own interpretation, they will project onto the image. So, my main intention when somebody sees my work is at least from whatever clarity I have in the present, is that I want them to feel something through the work, to strike an emotional chord with the viewer, and like it'll be wonderful if my work makes them think about their own life and sort of reflect about themselves. It happen. Yeah, I think I'm very open to how each person approaches the work. I think that is what makes it wonderful, beautiful.
Yeah, true that. And has your um relationship with art, changed over the years? Or has it, how has it changed over the years? I mean, when you started with your BVA and then you pursued your master's, and now that you're a full blown practicing artist with a studio, how was your journey with the art so far?
It was crazy. And what I mean by crazy is that there was a lot of change which happened for sure. It's like I like to think of it as Photoshop, but I'll just like the analogy because when you use Photoshop, you think that there's so many layers to it, and every time you
Mm.
use the app, you realize that something or the other new keeps emerging.
Keeps. Yeah.
Um, so emerging. So the thing with visual art for me was that initially there were a lot of preconceptions, a lot of these borrowed beliefs that we have about what art is supposed to be. It is supposed to look beautiful. It is supposed to look professional in terms of the skill. So a lot of unlearning happened in college. And since I happen to have a lot of skill, so there was a lot of struggle with that as well. How do I use a skill which is so strong and go beyond that, which is like a constant struggle for me back in college, so that the work is not just something which is beautiful and skillfully done, but it is something which
Goes.
goes beyond. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So a lot of so a lot of questioning kept happening at every stage. What is exact? But these are some very basic questions which are not answered directly ever in this field,
Mm.
and it is all there's a lot of abstraction which had to understand and then accept that okay, this is how things are. This is a very abstract space. Things might be very ambiguous and nothing is spoken directly about. So you have to keep feeling through your way and keep asking questions and keep developing on your own understanding of what you think what is art for you? What do you want it
Mm.
to be? Because I realized after a certain point in my practice that we happen to have very limited examples because we see artists around us. But the truth is that they can produce work according to them. But what
Mm.
you can do, you can never find it outside of you. It is something which only you can create. So that is also fine to not find an
Mm.
example like yourself because it is waiting for that work only you can create. So it is fine to not find it elsewhere. It is fine that what you want to produce, you cannot see an example of. You cannot follow it from anywhere. You have
Mm.
to do it yourself. So that is
Yeah.
something I realized.
Yeah, and I think that is a very important realization as well. I mean, to arrive there in itself is a, you know, I think something big, I feel. How does your creative process looks like? Are there, do you have any rituals which, you tend to do before you start a new work or something like that? What does your process look like from ideation to the final work? What does it look like? Can you just take us with you?
True. Yeah, yeah, sure. So I do a lot of I maintain diaries. So that is a
Mm.
constant practice which I follow through. I have a lot of diaries. There's a lot of scribbles. There's a lot of outpour which happens within the spaces
Hmm.
of those diaries, where I allow myself to be completely naked, which I am not, and only probably I have been able to transfer bits and pieces of what happens in my diary onto the canvas. Because
Mm.
until now, I was never consciously thinking about the potential which lies within the spaces of my diaries and what is not happening on the canvas or on a bigger scale. So, my process definitely includes a lot of writing, a lot of penning down what I feel, what's happening in my head, what am I going through in life, what am I struggling with, what are my insecurities, what makes me feel uncomfortable. Um, Yeah, these things. I think about beauty also because I happen to be very conscious about myself. And I think I thought about beauty. And of course, I think all women do. Um, so I photograph a lot on a daily basis. So by photograph, yeah, I think that helps me get a sense of what composition I feel is right, what people I spend time with. So it's like a very nice glimpse into my everyday life, into the people in my life, which I think I can keep photographing until the day I die because they keep changing and so do I. So that is something which I can never stop doing. I keep finding new things within that. And in fact, I feel that I want to reach a point where I can um, reach the fullest potential because that is what artists try to do, right? Um,
Yeah.
we have ideas in our head and we want to execute something and we see things in their fullest potential, but how much are we actually able to manage
Deliver.
the work of
Yeah.
art? Yeah, that is a different game. That is what the
Mm.
process is, I think.
Yeah. True that. I think I'm loving how clear you are about everything about your art. Oh my god, I wish I at some point arrived at this point. That's so cool. What's this one piece of advice you'd like to give to, younger emerging artists you feel they should know about,
Hmm.
and, uh,
uh, to emerging artists that first of all, do not stay in this field because you think that this is the last resort that you have. I think that's very obvious that if you're in this field because basically I think that there needs to be 100% uh dedication to being and to wanting to be an artist and to wanting to create because you just cannot do without it, and this is something which is very widely heard about. So I think it is to emerging artists. I think it took me so much, like a very long time to sort of figure out that, yes, this is what I want to do. In third year, I felt like probably this is not for me. In masters, also, I felt like after my masters got over that I'm not quite satisfied with studio practice the way I have seen other artists do it. So I realized that what models I already seen around me in terms of the way artists have practiced, a lot of things I did
mm,
not connect with as an artist. So I kept questioning if I am meant to be an artist or not because I could not connect with a lot of things around me. But it is only very with time that I realized, because I kept finding myself back at it all the time, that I realized that okay, I just have to find my way of doing it, my own combination. For example, I am somebody who has also a lot of potential to get out of the studio, to be with people, and to be more like, how do I find ways to be practically creative? Not just in the studio space in front of canvas, because I'm a painter.
mm,
So I realized that you have to find your own combination, and it is don't be completely influenced by what you see outside of you as this is the final solution, this is how practice is done, and this is what art is, because that's not true. Like, you have to find your own way, your own solution to things. And yes, another advice suggestion which um I realized that I think we shouldn't be scared to be bold. I think we should
definitely.
just
I think, yeah.
go for it and take risks and produce like shit work. That like
Definitely.
it's and that it's completely okay to be wear your insecurities about your work, because that is a very common feeling which a lot of artists must be feeling, because we need validation from the outside.
Yeah.
So these are all struggles which everybody goes through, and I think that's okay.
Yeah, somewhere a feeling that everybody is sailing in the same boat. Everybody is having the same issues. Everybody is going. So, like, even when I started my college and I started, pursuing finance, and I was very, very insecure of my works. I would not show my works to, teachers when we are sitting in a group. I would always go when the teacher is alone, and I was like, oh, now you can see my work. Like, I'd like to show my work. But I think slowly, gradually, I think when I came to my second year, I realized that everybody is having this issue, not only me. Everybody is not comfortable showing their works when the whole class is sitting there. And I think it took me whole like 2 years to come on terms with it. And I think maybe from third year, we all started collectively feeling, started feeling okay about showing our works. I mean, that was such a small thing, but I think we all go through it. I mean, it was such a basic thing now that I look back at it in a retrospective. Yeah, I was like, not a lot of people address these issues or, talk about it. And I'm glad you addressed this on the show. Or whose work inspires you the most? Like, is that a master or a up there or somebody out of this industry? Whose work do you like the most?
I'm not sure if I can talk about one artist because there's been a couple of influences. Uh, Artists who've inspired me to be okay with being vulnerable through my work. So, and also in terms of the visual language, I can just like David Hockney is one of them. He was an early influence. I loved the way he used color and his language and the way he used space, the visual elements in his work and the just everyday beauty that you would see around him. Then Tracy Emin, I have been very influenced by Tracy Emin and Cindy Sherman. Cindy Sherman, the way she would use her body as an instrument and use posing as a way to talk about women's position in society. I thought I think that's, yeah, very inspiring. Of course, I love Frida Kahlo's work.
Mm.
Um, I love Paula Rigo, what she's done, especially in her Dog Women series. These are artists which I know very, of course, there's a lot of potential to get to know them better, but
Mm.
uh, also Robert Mapplethorpe, his work.
Mhm. Um,
He's a photographer and he's produced insane, insanely graphic yet classical images of bodies and himself. Also Nan Golden, she's a
Okay.
photographer. I love her work. She's also I think what is common among all of these artists is um, their work is somewhere intimate and vulnerable.
Makes sense. So what do you do apart from, like when you're not at the studio, when you don't feel like, working today, when you don't feel like picking up the pencil and you just want to just be, what's your favorite thing to do at that point?
My favorite thing is to spend time with my sisters. And I spend a lot of time with my family because I happen to be very close with them. So time just passes by with my sisters. And I also like to practice yoga and go for walks and sleep. I love to sleep.
I just love how you answered all the questions, being so true, honest, and just being you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
I
much
I
for having me.